Rivers sole administrator's Kinsman demands Fubara's return to office. Oh, his Kinsman. Okay now. Former National Vice Chairman South-South Democratic Front for a People's Federation (DFPF), Mr. James Z. Ebri has appealed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to immediately rescind the decision imposing a state of emergency in Rivers State. Ebri, who is a Kinsman of the state sole administrator Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ekwe-Ibas, has urged the President to return the suspended governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odo. He also appealed to the President to rescind the suspension of the member of the Rivers House of Assembly. Ebri, who is a former governorship candidate in Cross River State, explained that the call to rescind the state of emergency is necessitated by the fact that the basic requirements for the declaration of a state of emergency were not met when it was declared. First, among the requirements for the declaration of emergency is the consent of both the House of Assembly and the governor of the state, which in this case was not sought. Oh, they were supposed to sort his own consent too. Oh wow. It is this consent or lack of it that needs to be submitted to the National Assembly as the basis of the request by the President to declare the state of emergency, which the National Assembly needs to consider before approving or rejecting the approval of the state of emergency. Section 305, subsection 4 of the Constitution states as follows. It is because they also wanted to suspend him. I think that is why they did not seek his consent on the state of emergency. It's because they also wanted to suspend him as well. That was why they did that. The governor of a state may, with the sanction of a resolution supported by 2/3 majority of the House of Assembly, request the President to issue a proclamation of a state of emergency in the state when there is an existence within the state of the situation specified in Section 3, C, D, and A of this section, and such situation does not extend beyond the boundaries of the state. It goes further in subsection 5 to say the President shall not issue a proclamation of a state of emergency in any case when the provision of subsection 4 of this apply, unless the governor of the state fails within a reasonable time to make a request to the President to issue such a proclamation. Further, he noted that this shows clearly that for any proclamation to be made, the State Assembly and the governor must initiate it. It was Fubara that was supposed to initiate the state of emergency and not the other way around. And then he would like approve to it. Then he would tell the President to declare state of emergency and all of that. But I think it's because they wanted to also suspend him. That is why they did not go through him like that. They know what they are doing. It would therefore be unconstitutional for the President to unilaterally impose a state of emergency and remove an elected governor and legislator. He highlighted that Section 11 of the Constitution also dwells on the issue of the House of Assembly not being able to carry out its duties. Section 11, subsection 4 says nothing in this subsection shall be construed as conferring on the National Assembly's power to remove the governor or the deputy governor of the state from the office. These provisions in the Constitution were made so that the President or the National Assembly will not have the power to remove duly elected officials like themselves or declare a state of emergency in states that are not so friendly with the central government. The declaration of a state of emergency is a very serious issue which requires the highest level of transparency. It is therefore very important for the citizens to know how they voted, as it is done the world over, but not by voice vote. Not by voice vote. It is not contestable that the Attorney General of the Federation gave a wrong advice to the President. Exactly, he did. That ADF. Ebri added that, based on the above reasons, I wish to advise the President to return the governor to office as soon as possible and not allow the case to be adjudicated in court so that it does not convey the inappropriate message or impression that the federal government is lawless. We already have that impression already. They are lawless. That impression has been established. They are lawless and does not obey the Constitution, which is the grand norm of the country. Yes, so they don't obey it. They don't obey it. They are lawless. Aganafo says Tinubu is an illegal president, so everything he does are all illegitimate. So nothing legal can come from an illegal president. Abi. Awad Jiziga says, thank you, sir. Please advise your brother. He's too old to be doing some things. He served and now he's retired. This one he's doing as if he wants to get his money now. He should take the path of peace. He should behave as an old man. Do what is right, not money to what will bring disgrace. Don't mind them. He's even having the effort to invite the governor over to come and tell us why he should be reinstated back. That man does not know what he's doing at all. At all. John says greed for wealth, power, fame, and lack of contentment are the hallmarks of Nigeria's political leadership. What Ibas could hardly achieve legitimately through the polls, he couldn't resist usurping on the platter of illegitimate appointment. Exactly. He's one of those irredeemably unpatriotic to Nigeria, clearly poisonous to Nigeria's nascent democracy, alien to public trust, and embracing defiance of the people's will, and obstinately lacking in defense of open truth. His type can quickly overthrow a democratic government. Yes, his type, yes, they can do it. They will milk it. Even this one that he's there now, people think he will not milk it. People think he will want to leave by that 6 months. I doubt it. He's going to show his true color. People should be watching. People should be watching. Goodluck Akegbe says, "Is the so-called administrator not educated enough to know the constitution does not allow a state of emergency in a democratic setup in Rivers? He must be a foolish man to have accepted that position. Posterity will judge him and his family, and he will be disgraced out of that position he foolishly accepted. Greedy idiot." Baba don vex. Baba don vex, oh God. Folai Adewale says, when one does not listen to the voice of wisdom due to wrong association and advice, creating issues for himself whereby a laid down blueprint to succeed was created. Folai, I don't know say na rubbish you go talk. Godfrey says, how I wish the president reads this or hears and accepts your advice. As for the courts, it cannot rule against its owner in the country. Courts that are supposed to be independent, they are now owned by people. It is well. Sylvester Wite says, Tinubu wants Rivers at all costs, yes, for 2027 presidential election. Therefore, he must be blind to anything that is otherwise inimical to his selfish ambition. He is simply using Wike as a hatchet man to actualize his dream, and I pity Wike for that, because they are going to disappoint him at the end of the day. They are going to betray him, and it's going to be so painful to see. And I can't wait for that time to happen. You've sold your state cheap to these people. They are going to show you Pepe, and it's going to lose at the end of the day. It is well. Pet Ngotimbo says, as of the state legislators, they are comfortable with the state of emergency as an open speech to the whole world because their boss is in charge. Still wrestling to control all structures in the state. I know as Governor Fubara will have his way back to the office, he will triumph. I hope so too. I hope so. My listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, to share and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.